All right, now we're going to try to solve geometric sequences with fractions. So geometric sequences that have fractions in them. Let's see, find. So we have this geometric sequence 1 over 2, 1 over 4, 1 over 8, blah, 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 until 1 over 64. So find the eighth term. So let's pull out our formula. That's A1 equals, AN equals A1 times R to the power N minus 1. So looking for our eighth term, that's A8 equals A1 times, what's 8 minus 1? That's 7. Okay, so our A1 is obviously 1 over 2 or half. And then what's our R? R is simply, we can say A2 over A1. So what is our A2? A2 is 1 over 4 divided by A1. So how do we go about this? So whenever you have a division of fractions, what you simply do, you change this to multiplication and then you flip the number that's supposed to be at the bottom, or the number that we're going to use to divide. Okay, so it's going to be 1 over 4. Let me put it here. It's going to be 1 over 4 times, we flip the 2 with we flip the 1 over 2 so it gives us 2 over 1, so that's going to be 2 over 4, which equals half. Let's try that for A3 over A2. A3 over A2 will give us 1 over 8 divided by 1 over 4. That's going to be 1 over 8 times, and then you flip 4 over 1, which gives us 4 over 8, which gives us 1 over 2. So A1 is half, or 1 over 2. R is also 1 over 2. So let's slot in our values. A8 will give us 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 to the power 7. Okay, so we have 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 to the power 7. So what's 1 over 2 to the power 7? That should give us somewhere about 1 over 128. Okay, so we have 1 over 2 times 128. So that will give us 1 over 2 times 128. And what's this? So what's 128 times 2, first of all? So we have 1 here, and then 256. So our eighth term, our A8 will be 1 over 256. Now find the sum of the first 6 terms. Okay, remember the formula for S, N in a geometric sequence is A1 times 1 minus R to the power N over 1 minus R, or you can say A1 times R to the power N minus 1 over R minus 1. So pick the one you want. So for this one, I'm going to use this one. Let's use this one. So sum of the first 6 terms will be, what's our A1? 1 over 2. Let's try to put everything in brackets so we don't get confused. Times, and then I use a square bracket. 1 over 2. That's our R to the power 6 minus 1. Close the bracket, over 1 over 2 minus 1. Okay, now let's continue. I should have probably used this one, but no problem. So we have 1 over 2 times, now what's 1 over 2 to the power 6? 1 over 2 to the power 6 should give me 1 over 2 to the power 6 should give me 1 over 64. Yeah, 2 times. Yeah, it should give me 1 over 64. So I put it here. Minus 1 over. Now what's half minus 1? Simply tell yourself 1 minus half, that's half, and then you put a negative value here. Okay, so half minus 1 is the same thing as saying minus 1 minus half. So what's 1 minus half? Half, that's minus half. Okay, so you can use that to make things easier. Now what's 1 over 64 minus 1? Again, we can simply say that's minus 1 minus 1 over 64. Let's do it together. Okay, let's quickly do this one. We have 64 here. Okay, so we have 64 minus 1. Our answer will be 63 over 64. Okay, remember there's a minus sign here, so we have minus 63 over 64. Okay, so we have, let's continue, half times minus 63 over 64 over minus half. Now remember, we can actually break these two down because half divides half. Remember, there's a minus sign. So half divided by minus half will give me minus 1. Okay, and then minus 1 times minus 63 over 64. Negative times negative will give me positive, and my answer is 63 over 64. Okay, so the sum of the first six terms is 63 over 64. Okay, the sum of the first six terms will be 63 over 64. Okay, our eighth term is 1 over 256. The sum of the first six terms is 63 over 64. How about now, what term is 164? So we have 1 over 64 here. Is it the fifth term, the sixth term, the seventh term? Okay, now remember our formula. AN equals A1 times R minus 1. So we'll say AN, that's 1 over 64 because we're looking for N. Okay, we're looking for N. We don't know what N is. Our A1 is half times half N minus 1. Okay, what can we do here? We can simply multiply both sides by 2 to cancel this half. So we have, let's multiply both sides by 2. So we have, let me put it here, 2 over 64 equals, half times 2 is just 1, so equals 1 times half to the power n minus 1. Okay, so what is 2 over 64? That is 1 over 32 equals half to the power n minus 1. So let's put this in terms of half. What is 1 over 32? In terms of half, we can simply say 1 over 32, that's going to be 1 over 2 to the power 5. Okay, 1 over 32 is actually 1 over 2 to the power 5, which is equal to 1 over 2 to the power n minus 1. So from here we can say that 5 equals n minus 1. Bring this here. N equals 5 plus 1, and our n equals 6. I'm sorry, I have to use every single space now. Okay, so that's our sixth term. So 1 over 64 is actually our sixth term. Okay, so 1 over 64 is our sixth term. The sum of the first six terms is 63 over 64, and our eighth term is 1 over 256. Awesome. Let's move on. The first term of a geometric sequence is 15. Our A1 is 15. The A4 is 5 over 9. Find the eighth term and find the sum of the first seven terms. Okay, A1 is 15. A4 is 5 over 9. So how do we find R? Put them into equations, remember? So 15 equals A1. Okay, and 5 over 9, which is A4, equals A1 times R to the power 3. Have equation 2. Equation 1, we can say equation 2 divided by equation 1, 2 divided by 1. 5 over 9 divided by 15. That will be, remember to flip, that will be 5 over 9 times 1 over 15. This goes, so we have 1 over 27 Okay, a1 divides a1, that's okay. r3, we're left with r3, so 1 over 27 equals r to the power 3. So r to the power 3 equals 1 over 27. So we have to find the cube root, and the cube root of 1 over 27 will be 1 over 3. Remember, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Okay, so we have 1 over 27 here. So our r is simply 1 over 3. Okay, so a1 is 15. That's our first term. R is 1 over 3. Find the 8th term. So what's the formula for 8th term? For an, sorry, a1 times r to the power n minus 1. a8 will be, what's our a1? 15 times 1 over 3 to the power 8 minus 1, 7. Okay, so what's 1 over 3 to the power 7? 1 over 3 to the power 7 should give me 1 over, so 15 times 1 over 2187. So we have 15 over 2187. Can we still divide further? So 15 over 2187, can we still divide further? Yes, actually 3 can go. So we have this here 5, this here 7 to 9. So our 8th term will be 5 over 7 to 9. Okay, 8th term will be 5 over 7 to 9. Now, what is the sum of the first x 7 terms? So just divide this quickly. That's a1 times 1 minus r to the power 7 over 1 minus r. So what's our r? What's our a1? a1 is 15 times 1 to the power r. What's our r? 1 over 3 to the power 7 over 1 minus 1 over 3. Okay, now whenever you have something like this, whenever you have 1 over a fraction, example, if you have 1 minus 1 over n, that is simply, the answer would simply be n minus 1 over n. That is the fastest way for you to, will I say, just so you don't have to start doing denominators, numerators. Whenever you have 1 minus 1 over n, the answer is simply n minus 1 over n. So 1 minus 1 over 3, the answer is simply 2 over 3. 1 minus 1 over 16, the answer is, what's 16 minus 1? 15 over 4. 15 over 16, sorry. Okay, so what's 1 minus 1 over 3? 2 over 3. Okay, now let's open the bracket. 1 minus, what's 1 over 3 to the power 7. That should give me 2187. So 1 over 2187. Remember, there's still a 15 there. Let's not forget our 15 over 2 over 3. So you don't have to start doing the fractions here. Just keep it simple. Let's still continue. So what's 1 minus 1 over 2187? Simply 2187 minus 1. That will be 218. So I'm continuing from here. 2186 over 2187 times 15 over 2 over 3. Okay, let's still keep it simple. Okay, now can 3 go? Yes, 3 can go here. So 3 here, 5, and then 3 here. What's 3 here? 2187 divided by 3. That should give me 729. Okay, so we have 2186 over 729. Okay, times 5. Now let's bring this divided by 2 over 3. Okay, so you don't have to confuse yourself with the fractions first. Complete one step before you try to move to another step. Okay, so we can flip this. Remember this division, we can flip it and say 2186 times 5. I don't want to multiply them yet. Over 729 times 3 over 2. Okay, because 2 can still go here into 2186. So let's start to divide. 2 here goes here. 1. 2 in 2186 should give me 1093 times 5. 3 goes here, and 3 in 729. So 729 divided by 3 should give me 243. Okay, now I can multiply by 5. 1093 times 5 will give me 5465 over 243. So our answer here is 5465 over 243. We can put that in a mixed fraction and say 22 whole number 119 over 243. Okay, awesome. So remember, 1 minus 1 over n is simply n minus 1 over n. So what's 1 minus 1 over 100? Simply 100 minus 1, 99 over 100. Let's make life easier for ourselves. Okay, so 8th term, sum of the first 7 terms, and there we go. Yeah. Okay, let's see what do we have next. So we're done with this one, so many red markers. Okay, let me do this. The first term of a geometric sequence is, okay, so whenever you start seeing these words, try to automatically write them in math form. So whenever I see the first term, I just say a1 equals minus 1 over 2. The third term, a3 equals minus 2 over 9. Automatically find a5. That's what they're saying. Just find a5. Find the fifth term, words. Find a5. And then find the sum of the blah 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 6s5. Okay, so first of all, we have to find r. Remember, a1 is minus 1 over 2. What's a3? It is the same thing as a1 times automatically 3 minus 1, so r to the power 2. Okay, so we have minus 1 over 2 is a1, and then a3, that's going to be, what do you call this? Okay, we already have, so a3 equals a1 times r to the power 2. Our a3 is minus 2 over 9, which equals minus 1 over 2 times r squared. Okay, remember the formula for a3. a3 is a1 times r to the power 2. We already know our a1, so we slot in our value. So what can we do here? We can multiply both sides by 2, or we can simply bring the half here. So how do you do that? Hold on. So minus 2 over 9 equals, now how do we what do you call it? How do we clear the minus 1 over 2 here? We actually multiply both sides by minus 2. Okay, so if you want to clear, example, if you want to clear 1 over n from a fraction, you multiply both sides by n. If you want to clear minus 1 over n, you multiply both sides by minus n. So I'm going to multiply both sides by minus 2, so minus 2 minus half times minus 2 times r squared. Minus 2 times minus 2, that's 4. Negative 9 equals, this one will give me 1. Okay, r squared. Let's find the square root. What's the square root of 4 over 9? That's square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 9 is 3. So r is 2 over 3, baby. R is 2 over 3. So whenever you want to clear fractions, especially 1 over n, So let's say we have something like let's say, just like we said, 4 over 9 equals, say, 1 over 2 times x. Okay, we can simply clear by saying multiplying both sides by 2. Okay, if it was minus 1 over 2, we multiply both sides by minus 2. So if we want to clear 1 over n, we multiply both sides by n. If you're going to clear minus 1 over n, we multiply both sides by minus n. Okay, so fifth term, a5, that's a1 times 5 minus 1, that's 4. Our a1 is minus 1 over 2 times our r is 2 over 3 to the power 4 minus 1 over 2. What's 2 to the power 4? 2 to the power 4 should be 16. Okay, and what's 3 to the power 4? 3 to the power 4 should be 81. Okay, multiply. So we have minus 16 over what's 2 times 81? That should be 162. Oh, I just forgot. 2 can actually go here. So we have, okay, still the same thing. Let's continue. So 2 can still go. So we have minus 8 over 81. Our answer is minus. So can 8 go in 81? No, it can't. Okay, so we have minus 8 over 81 as our fifth term, sorry. It's hard to remember all these numbers. Now, the sum of the first 5 terms. You know what? I'm just going to let you guys do it. Drop your answers in the comments. Just drop your answer in the comments. Okay? And then maybe in another video, I'll just explain. Drop your answers in the comments. Let's see how you do it. And then just let me know your answers. And I will try to explain. If there's any way, I'll try to explain this and that and this and that. So just try to do it on your own. So this is the question. Find the sum of the first 5 terms. Drop your answer in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. And then I'll actually follow up from the comments. So thank you. Thank you as always. Thank you very much. I hope I've been able to help in any way I can. So let me know if you have any questions, reactions, more reactions, likes, comments, subscriptions. So please subscribe. Thank you. So have a nice day, guys. Enjoy math, because I love math. We all love math.